Well, good morning to you all, and welcome to Prepping for Prosperity. I'm Steve Smith. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, it's good to have you. Welcome. Make sure that you click the subscribe button and hit the bell on all of that, and be one of us. It's I wasn't going to make one today, but with this SVB collapse, I've been watching the international markets very closely. You've heard me say before, so this is going to be kind of a quick one. You've heard me say before that I'm anticipating a crash. I have been for several years, and you want to be in a position to be able to do well to get through that crash fine, and to be able to use that crash in order to increase your wealth and prosperity. I know that it kind of goes, it feels funny to prosper due to the misfortunes of others, but we didn't bring on these misfortunes. But this has come about because of a whole lot of things that you didn't do. This was beyond your control. This has been coming. It's a result of years and years and years of quantitative easing and speculative investing and all sorts of things that really have taken away from your life over the years. And so it's not your fault, but you need to be in a position to be able to benefit from what's about to happen. There's a good chance I've been watching like I said, the international markets and reading through some of the European papers and things. I'm going to put a lot of this over on the Patreon channels. If you're not over there, you should be, because this is going to be something important to follow. I'm not going to be able to go through all of this on in a video, but you need to know it. Tomorrow, and I'll tell you, to give you a quick example of how serious this is. The collapse, what was the collapse of the Washington Mutual, I believe, was the large bank that collapsed, that brought on the 2008 crash. And they lost, I just read this morning, I'll put the article up on the Patreon channel so you can read all of it for yourself. They lost $16.7 billion over a 10-day period. This SVB collapse lost $40 billion in 12 hours. Okay, so that one that brought about that last collapse, $16.7 billion lost in 10 days. SVB Friday lost $40 billion in 12 hours. That should give you an idea of how serious this is. The cascading effect of this could wipe out markets across the board. It can wipe out the stock market, the bond market, the real estate market, the international markets. There's no telling where this is going. Now, we don't know that will absolutely happen, but we have to plan for what could happen. Yellen just came out and said that she's not interested in stabilizing SVB, but she's going to be taking care of the depositors. Now, that doesn't make any sense to me, and I'll tell you why. The deposits were insured up to $250,000. These startups who had their money that were investing in SVB, which, by the way, was a driver of this ESG junk that's going around. Tell me God's hand isn't in this. They were a driver of that. They knew that their deposits were not insured above $250,000, and yet, because they trusted this system, which is now collapsing, they went ahead and they put billions of dollars in excess above that insured amount. I think they said that 89%, anywhere I've read two numbers, 89 and 93% of all deposits were not insured. So they are losing across the board. I'll put a lot of this up, and I'll continue to put a lot of these things up over on the Patreon channel. Like I said, this is what the Patreon channel is for. It's a place for me to add extra content and a place for me to kind of curate other information, so that our members who are with us on Patreon can go there and see all of the things that I'll be putting up that's going to let you know what's going on with this potential worldwide monetary crash. It looks like tomorrow could be meltdown Monday. We will see. We'll see what happens. But I don't see much good happening except for you. Okay. Now, if you've positioned yourself like I have recommended for years, keep cash, stack cash. As long as you have a dependable income coming in. That means if you have a job, keep it. If you don't have a job, get one. If you've got one source of income, get another one, develop another one, build another one. This is why we talk about building your business. And in the future, I'm going to be talking about, and you might say, well, if times are going to get hard, then it's going to be hard to start a business. Well, it's going to be hard to start a big tech business now that SVB is underwater. But no, there are opportunities that can be found in crashes, and I'll talk about that later. Maybe tomorrow, the next day. There are certain things you can do to take advantage of the downturns. So I was just talking to Kelly about this. Conserve your cash, conserve your money, stop spending money on things that you want and makes you momentarily happy, because that money might be important. You might be able to use that pretty soon to really increase your wealth, and that's your long-term goal. So as we see this cascade through the markets, we'll see what happens. Very possibly the stock market is going to go down in the ditch. The real estate market are going to go down in the ditch. People whose retirement, and I hate to say this, but I'm just saying the truth. I hate it for them. People who their 401ks are just going to get demolished. And but if you have taken control of your own money, and you have, like I have suggested, stack cash, you're going to be in a position to take advantage of this. And when everything goes down in the tanks, you're going to be able to buy. That's the time to buy. And that's how wealth, as the markets rise up, which they always do, that's when, and there will be the contrarian to say, yeah, but it might not on this. Yes, it will. That's when your wealth will build and build and build. And that's how you build not only future security for yourself, but intergenerational wealth. So it looks like it's coming, folks. This is the one that I've been expecting, I think. Okay. I'll put all that stuff over on Patreon. So you patrons can read through it all yourself, and it's, I know that you may not want to read everything, but just skimming through, you're going to get a good sense of what's going on. If you're not with us on Patreon, you need to be, especially. That's why I created. I think it's very interesting that I started this channel right before all this stuff started happening, but I had a feeling I could see this coming. And I've been seeing it coming for a couple of years. And it's interesting that I was able to start this channel right before this hit. So if you're not with us on Patreon, you need to be, especially now. It's $5 a month. It's the best $5 you will ever spend in your life, because it's $5 that's going to be invested in you understanding what's going on and you positioning yourself so that you can take advantage of something that, to be real honest, is going to crush most people. Don't let it crush you. I don't want you to be crushed. That's why I'm here. I want you to do well, be well. Pray, folks. Pray for God's guidance, because that's where it all starts. He will not lead you astray. Okay? Okay, you all have a good day. I probably won't be back again today unless something major happens, but I will definitely be back tomorrow morning as we see what's going to happen with the meltdown on Monday as the banks reopen. See you on Patreon. The link is down below. And be wise. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.